Pisces, welcome to your reading for June 2016. Doing something a little bit different this month and doing a little bit longer readings, so definitely let me know how you like these. And I'm splitting up the cards into sections as well. So your first section is your main focus for this month, which you have the King of Clubs. Several other signs also had the King of Clubs as they're in their main focus, which is pretty crazy. If you go back, you'll notice I was using a completely different deck for the other readings, so it's pretty crazy that it comes up so frequently. But the King of Clubs can be about dealing with a difficult fire sign. So some of you might be dealing with a difficult fire sign person, and sometimes they don't always have to be difficult either. They could just be giving you advice and things like that, and that would help you out as well. So definitely be open to the advice. I guess the thing with the King of Clubs is sometimes the advice that we're getting, we don't want to receive it. So, it's about balancing that out and figuring out if you're going to listen to the advice or not of somebody that you think is being difficult. But it is also a good card. I mean, it's a card of like being intuitive and trusting your intuition and things as well. So it is a good card in that sense. Next, you have the Three of Hearts. So feeling really good, feeling emotionally, happy. This is a card of emotional happiness and feeling really happy. It is a card of wanting love as well and having a desire for a relationship, so a lot of you might be focused on that. And it can also represent needing to commit to something. So if you're finding yourself like not getting things done or not being able to commit to a project or even a person, this can be a card of needing to make a commitment, to like needing to make something happen as well. It can also be a card of needing to watch out for like obsessive behavior, and especially in love, like obsessing over the same person. So if you're finding yourself like attached to somebody, maybe it's time to move on to somebody else with this card. Next, also in your main focus, you have the Ten of Clubs, which is a really good card. It's a good, it's considered a good omen for new beginnings, and it's a great card for abundance and more abundance coming to you in your life, better things coming to you. It's also a great card for like traveling, moving, planning on moving, taking a trip, visiting people, meeting up with friends. There's like a lot that goes into this card. It's also a great card for like good fortune and fortunate things happening to you. I'd say that mostly, I think a lot of you Pisces out there are probably planning on moving. And maybe taking a trip this month, absolutely, but it's more of a card of like planning things out, thinking about how you're going to make it happen, thinking about how you're going to move, thinking about how you can gather the finances and things like that. But this is an amazing new beginning card, so really happy to see this for you. Next, in the area of love, you start off with the Three of Diamonds, which is a card of needing to make a choice. So very similar to that kind of like Three of Hearts as well, like needing to make some sort of choice and needing to maybe overcome some indecisions and things like that. Three of Diamonds is normally a card of confrontation. So like in love, it can represent, really in love, if you're in a relationship, it can represent needing to avoid arguments in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, this can be you needing to kind of like confront yourself and figure out like what you need to do so that you can become in a relationship. And it is a good card because it can, even though it can be difficult, it can also be a card of making those improvements and making those things happen. So it can be a very happy card in that sense. Next, you have the Fool. So really good card for love in a lot of ways. It could represent new relationships and setting off on a new path. Maybe a lot of you have been making like a lot of self-improvements and things like that, so you can be, attractive to people or whatever. It's whatever you're trying to do as far as getting a relationship. I would say mostly for those of you that are single, and a lot of you could be, kind of like presenting yourself in a totally new way in relationships for the better. So this is a great card, and even if you are in a relationship, this can represent like taking to the next level, starting new things and setting off on a new path together. So it's very exciting. And finally here for love, you end with the Ace of Hearts, which is, really good love card. It can represent fortune after difficulty, so especially if you haven't had a relationship or you've been struggling getting a relationship, this is a very good card, and can represent new relationships coming in for you. So really happy to see this. And it can represent also just feeling really good. And it's also a card to listen to messages that come to you, even intuitively. If you think somebody's interested in you with this card, they're probably interested in you, and you should probably go talk to them. It's that type of deal here. And if you're in a relationship, same thing. Like if you're feeling something off of the person you're in a relationship with, you should probably respond because you're probably right, whether it's positive or negative. You should probably take care of it with this card. But it's a really good card for love. Next, for business and finance and work and all of those things, you have the Six of Spades coming up first, which is a really good card. It's a card of incremental improvements and things improving and moving in the right direction. So that's really nice to see. It's also a card of fate. So a lot of you could have like a lot of fated events coming to you, where things just fall into place, maybe business-wise or work-wise, or even if you're retired, maybe like your retirement, there's like a lot of things that could happen that could help you out in a lot of ways. But like I said, it is a card of like moving forward, and it might be a little bit slow, but it does say that improvements are coming in a lot of ways. The other thing with this card is it can be a card of having a problem, like working with yourself and needing to self-motivate. So I'd say for those of you that work for yourself, and even if you don't, you might want to try to find new ways to motivate yourself. You might find yourself maybe having a lack of motivation recently, or I mean, it can be the opposite as well. It could mean that you have been feeling a lack of motivation, but now you're kind of like picking it up on yourself and you are becoming more motivated. So, but just watch that. Next, you have the King of Diamonds, which is an amazing business money card coming in for you. It's being really good with finances, improving your finances, growing your finances. It can even represent like a boss coming to you, offering you advice, helping you out, and giving you a promotion or something like that. But it's all about being better with finances. The trick with this card is the King of Diamonds. A lot of card reading systems call him the CEO, and I think that's wrong, because the King of Diamonds, he's very reactive. He can make a lot of really bad decisions, if he reacts like more emotionally without thinking, in which he tends to do a lot. And being able to react quickly is what makes him very successful, but it can also lead to ultimately his failure in a lot of ways. So it is a card of not being reactive and thinking about things before you make financial decisions. And then finally here in finance, you have the Three of Clubs, which represents a second chance, getting a second chance. Maybe something from the past coming back around. Maybe something you worked on in the past, or a job opportunity, or maybe like a similar job opportunity to something that maybe you lost in the past or something, coming back around and you getting a second chance at it. The trick here with the Three of Clubs is to do whatever you didn't do the first time. Usually it's kind of like, the first time you made the wrong decision, or you picked the wrong path or something like that, and this time you just have to pick something different. This can also be a card of indecision and being stuck in your mind in a lot of ways. And the trick here is, if you're finding yourself stuck and not being able to move forward and not really sure like what to do, is to just do something and just to pick something and do it and commit to it and see where it goes, and then make your decision later. Sometimes with the Three of Clubs, we can't see the future, so we don't really know what to do, and we're unsure, and sometimes we just need to pick something and go with it and see, and then kind of let it play out and see where it goes, and just need to commit to something with this card, basically. So next, for your spiritual advice, you start with the Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Diamonds is all about needing to have more fun and not focus on money too much, which a lot of Pisces are doing. I totally get it. But this is a card of needing to have more fun, and that definitely plays into spirituality, because if we're having fun and we're feeling better, we can be more spiritual and things like that. But it's definitely a card of needing to balance like money and fun. It could even be you making some decisions financially, or making decisions to help people out or something like that as well. Next, you have the Four of Spades. Pisces takes comfort in spirituality. Four of Spades is all about comfort and being more comfortable. So, again, Pisces is very comfortable spiritually. So it's all about, finding comfort in spirituality and things like that. This is also a card of healing yourself as well. So a lot of you could be seeing some recovery and things like that in yourself. But other than that, it's also a card of taking vacation, planning a vacation. So you had some travel stuff over here. So a lot of you might be like planning on traveling, planning on taking a vacation and things, so that you can take a break, which would help you out. Separating away from whatever it is that you're thinking about probably would help you out a lot here. And finally here, you have the Five of Diamonds, which is all about starting new things, and coming up with new ideas. I think that what the cards are trying to say here with this Four of Spades is that if you separate and you take time to do things that you like want to do, that you enjoy to do, like your hobbies and things like that, you'll probably come up with some better ideas that could help you out in other areas of your life, including spirituality. But this is also a card of like morals and being really honest and things like that. So that'll probably be important for you this month spiritually. And then finally, I simply ask if there's anything else that the cards want you to know. And you have the Six of Clubs, really good card, all about intuition and trusting your intuition, being very intuitive, and believing in yourself in a lot of ways. And like I said, trusting that intuition that you have. It can also represent a business partner coming in. So a lot of you could maybe have a business partner coming in that could really help you out. And this card represents improvements as well, like improvements in friendships and relationships, in your career and your money. It's a card of success. Even some card readers would just read this card as success and success coming to you in growth. It's also a great card to learn under. So a lot of you could be doing like a lot of learning and things like that, which would be very beneficial to you. But looks like a great month. So thank you for watching and enjoy your June.